Unbelievable, she says. Yes, it's unbelievable how well we're doing in solving this murder. We have someone upstairs to talk to, but it was mentioned to me that I didn't talk to the second cop.
Shit.
Their ruffled face reflects in the man's sunglasses. I guess we didn't talk to him directly.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Looks don't matter. It's what's on the inside that does.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going by here.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What you want?
58%, plus one call of the station. Kim, who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them.
Got some questions for you. I'm a cop.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like?
Like a megastar?
Yes, a superstar cop. Of course. This again.
He didn't answer your question. Who does this asshole think he is? A cop?
Now will you answer some questions for me?
No.
Don't you have to?
No, he doesn't.
If I wasn't clinically depressed, I'd burst out laughing. But I'm gonna go with no right now.
Well, if you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say things? Oh, no voice? Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
Okay. I'm doing this investigation, and it turns out he was shot and hanged.
You think he was hanged as a cover-up? To hide the shooting?
Well, basically, yes.
Okay, well...
He corrects his blonde wig. His hair. He corrects his hair. Hey, why am I telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you?
He gives you an odd look.
You know what? It must be because he's buff. He looks like he works out, like he's got the devil on his back.
Hey, we got a morale heal. His physical instrument is impressed with this man's physique.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it?
Let's talk about the hanged man again.
Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time.
I'm doing this investigation. A man is hanged.
So, do you know who hanged him?
Well, we do, so I probably shouldn't say not yet. But why am I telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you? Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it?
All right. Well, it's pretty even. Let's go for it.
There's something that binds you to him. Some kind of an outfit, maybe. A uniform.
I understand. The uniform is metaphorical. I'm actually seeing the working class, right?
I want to say, yes, I think.
Level with me here for a second. Are you working class?
Fucking politics again. You know what I'm more interested in?
Me solving the case of the hanged man?
You solving the case you're on. I'm passionate about that. So maybe get to it.
Okay then. See you around.
Watch out for yourself, loser.
What a nice man. Alright, so is her door open this time?
The door is closed. There's still a dent in the vinyl where you punched it before.
Run our finger across the dent.
This little depression is all you could inflict on the door. You swallow, like you swallowed the last time. Whatever bitter emotion was swimming to the surface then and now subsides, submerges, sinks back into you.
Knock.
White morning. It was morning all along. You should have seen it coming. It was right behind her eyes.
Knock.
Who is it?
A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Man, that was a long shower. It's like lasted 3 days. Piles of dirty clothes. A woman's. Hotel bill calculations. Looks like she had an extended stay. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot.
Look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
There's quite the collection in here.
Anything of note?
Search the bottles.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra.
What's Nacra?
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Search the pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Wow. Electrochemistry is raring to go.
A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
Are we looking for Preptide? I wasn't aware we were looking for it. We have sweaty hands. Nah.
You dropped it, smack dab in the middle of the floor. There it is, orange as the midsummer evening sun, or the lieutenant's bomber jacket. Wow, that's unbelievably orange. Anyone can see that. It's practically effervescent.
Pick it up, but secretly.
The lieutenant tries to keep his eyes on the door, but the peptide bottle sounds like a rattlesnake. It's basically a percussion instrument that you're stuffing into your pocket.
Kim is trying so hard not to notice.
Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now.
Close the cabinet. Okay, what is it? So it's speed. This bright orange medicine bottle declares the brand name Preptide in a sunny, happy manner. Someone has lost the bottle, but who cares? +1 Motorix, -1 morale. Kim just really desperately wants to pretend that he doesn't notice us stealing the drugs. The bed has been hastily made.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run our finger across the surface of the glass.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer. to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
He adjusts his glasses. The smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra, menthol. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Ah, 58%. It's higher than I thought it would be.
You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybelle. The young woman looks at the Maybelle in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Wow, we actually caught it. Dried Maybelles. This is the wildflower we caught. Once a bouquet of muguettes that you found on the whirling roof. It's shedding its petals quickly in your pocket.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
What is this, Kim?
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybelles or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
Who pinned them? Which side?
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the king's men too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War.
Does this flower blossom in early spring?
Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
Is it a coincidence, it being on the roof?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
Very well.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the channel that brought wastewater from the silk mills of Jamrock, and then dead bodies during the war. The wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the stream like white salt.
Cold coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. Before we talk to her, let's just see what our buffs are. +1 encyclopedia. +1 is spirit decor and +1 shivers. +1 logic. -1 savoir faire. +1 electrochemistry. We don't have... No, we do have other trousers. We just got them. They both give +1 to electrochemistry. Why do our pants increase electrochemistry? Why do both of them do that? I mean, I assume I probably won't need well, I shouldn't say that I won't need reaction speed when talking to her. Let's change them. I mean, they do give us a godly ass after all. The glasses. +1 visual calculus, -1 to drama. This one's +1 to logic, -1 to authority. Let's give these a go. We only have one necktie. The gloves, +1 interfacing. This one's +1 electrochemistry, +1 half-light. Maybe just keep these. The green snake skins. +1 composure, -1 savoir faire. We don't have any replacements for that. Pry bar. Let's see. We could equip this, which is +1 inland empire, +1 empathy, -2 authority. Let's see. Would we want to... I mean, having +1 empathy could be good.
Pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something, soft yet crinkly.
Oh, take the item out.
Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar. Not familiar in a good way, you might say. There's pain in there somewhere.
We can interact with the gum wrapper. A gleaming chewing gum wrapper found in the pocket of the laborer jeans. It gives off an ever so faint of apricots. Your mouth starts watering.
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of another planet. Or some ancient temple.
Ancient temple?
Yes, from the height of antiquity. A long, long time ago. Millennia ago. On an island of time you can never return to.
End of summer.
The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to liquid gold. For a moment, the world's store of precious metals seems to increase dramatically, and you are rich. There is a movement next to you, the shuffle of a small coat, warm like the evening. But when you turn toward it, there's nothing there.
Where did it go?
Why are you talking to a gum wrapper?
I don't know. Take a deep, deep breath.
Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take, until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your closed eyes, made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive. Your heart working overtime, trying to keep up with the panicked synapses firing all over your brain, moving liters of blood through you, panicking. Feels so familiar.
Put the wrapper away. We got a thought. Apricot chewing gum, scented one. The temporary research bonus would be -1 reaction speed because of living in the past. Research time is 5 hours. It's quite a while. You found a trace of entity who's been stalking you across the plains. The Gloom Stalker, the conglomeration, the shadowy organization behind your downfall. Possibly connected to the dreaded X something. Granted, it is impossible to determine its true identity, but you can remember where you first smelled its treachery. Yes, use the Tutti Frutti gum wrapper. Reconstruct the day you first breathed in her untrustworthy atoms. Alright, that's a curious one. From that description, I really have no idea what this might do if we internalized it, but we do not have a point to open up a slot. So we'll just have to wait until that happens. For right now, let's talk to the person that we came up here to talk to before we got distracted by an old gum wrapper.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean, then toned over several years of self-defense training. You can sense it in the sharp pointing of her elbows.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Yes, the mess. Your apartment. Quite a mess. Is there a cleaning lady? I think I need one.
Oh yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the Infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Oh, right, Sylvie. She did quit. She was a little hesitant to say exactly why.
Have I ever? This is the one and only superstar cop. He's kind of a big deal around here.
Martinez is very lucky. Only 1 in 1,000 cops wakes up as the superstar cop.
Wow. What brings the Phoenix back to me?
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
This is good advice.
No need to dilly-dally. She's tough.
Maybe we'll dilly-dally a little bit.
You sound like a namby-pamby.
Well, we have to... I guess that's the risk we're going to have to take. What's your name, miss? For the record.
Klassje Amondou.
Where are you from?
Vredefort, Republic of Oranje.
And what is Oranje?
A bad memory, officer.
A bad memory of what?
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. A night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
She takes a drag. What do you do, miss? What's your specialization?
Something stupid.
What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
She raises both eyebrows. Not that we could tell because like her hairline here, like the bangs, go right down to the eyes. I don't know how we would be able to tell that her eyebrows raised. What is Oranese literature about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Oranese lit. What do you do with it?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
How do you make money then? Money is very important. Show her some money.
Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit.
Being what?
Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
She smiles.
It's the world's most tired smile. Miss Oranje, now there is something you should linger on.
Wouldn't it be inappropriate to linger?
All things considered, very. Now linger.
What is Miss Oranje 37?
It's a beauty pageant, held in the year of our century 37, in Oranje.
What is a beauty pageant?
It's a competition for stupid girls. Men look at them and choose the most beautiful.
What is beauty?
When you have the fewest deviations from the norm. I've been told it's a type of mediocrity that I possess.
So you were the most beautiful?
Yes. And for that, I got a crown and a sash and a scepter. And a scholarship to study Oranese lit.
Understood.
Mm-hmm. I would offer you coffee, but it's garbage. Literally tastes like poison.
I wonder if we had, like, any encyclopedia points, if it would have chimed in with any of those, with explaining any of that, so he wouldn't have to ask, what is a beauty pageant? What is that? Could we take a look at your passport, please?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
Well, how do I know you've told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Klassje Mondu. It's a weird name.
Well, okay then.
Okie dokie.
She pours herself more coffee. Thank you. That's it. For the record.
The record. So official.
Nice room you have here.
Yeah. It's pretty deluxe.
What are you doing here, in the whirling in rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
There could be a couple of ways you could put emphasis on this sentence, but the way I would choose to is, why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Ravishal?
Let's just say in the whirling, first of all.
Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell.
You have quite a collection of prescription drugs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
She says without any discernible irony.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachon, but you should still reprimand her.
Narco Mania is nothing to be proud of, miss.
What did you say?
You heard what I said. Narco Mania is a serious issue and nothing to scoff at, miss.
Oh my god. Now it's turning into Narco Mania. It's got to be serious if it's 2 words. I'm sorry.
The collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive.
Better safe than sorry.
She takes a drag and smiles. You seem to have, among other things, a peptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Oh, well, like what? That might be relevant to me.
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically.
Cool. I some of that just ended up in my pocket. It's kind of weird how that happened.
Huh? Motherfucker took my peptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily log it under confiscation.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
No, I am a superstar highwayman?
She's not angry, but it's true. She's gonna have to find some more peptide now.
Well, maybe if we find some, we can pay her back. That window is new.
It is.
She moves slightly to your left to check her reflection in it.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
No details. I have other questions for you.
Okay.
They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Were you sexually assaulted, miss?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
She takes a quick drag, unperturbed.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
I mean, technically, it's not that early.
She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below.
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake?
So, were you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
That's a lot of options. Titus asked you to spice things up. Are you sure you weren't raped? What did happen? What can you tell me about him? What did they hang him for? Why was there a bullet in his head? How did the Hardy Boy knows you know you? Well, Titus asked you to spice things up for us?
Pretty much.
She cradles her coffee cup in both hands.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
So, what did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
You mean, like a birthday party?
Yes. We made balloon animals, drank lemonade, inflated a bouncy castle.
Did you rim the lemonade glasses with sugar? I like to do that.
Yeah, I love that too. We frosted the glasses, I unwrapped my bike, there was a petting zoo with little white rabbits.
Really?
I would like it to have been that way, but it wasn't.
How was it?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Whoa. After so much drinking and drugs, how did they manage it?
Wow, Endurance is impressed. Hold on. After so much drinking and drugs, how? I've done much drinking and drugs, and I don't think I would have been able to manage it.
Untraditionally, officer.
She puts out her Astra, but lights another one with its end first.
She's cold and strange. I'm not picking anything up here.
Electrochemistry doesn't know what to make of her.
Your imagination starts whirring, whether you want it to or not.
You were lovers?
I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm.
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Must have been hard for you, seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so now we're finding out who actually called. We didn't know who called in the murder up to now. The call reporting the hanging, that was you?
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it?
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him.
And this child just kept throwing rocks at him all day. Never got tired of it. The caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
And nicked it? How?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
Wow, analog voice modulation.
Which landline?
The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling landline.
That's some clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Seems like he had some idea. That was nifty.
Thanks.
She manages a smile. But why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
Well, maybe not. Like, eventually, his body was going to tear off at the neck once it decomposed enough. And, well, what can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
Another puff, more nervous. Oh, have you spoken with him too? I've talked to him like a couple times now.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
Yeah, let's address it. I've also seen him in a dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
She's run out of cigarette. Time to light a new one.
She sees them in each other's arms.
I see him as me.
She fishes a cigarette out of her pack and lights it, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke.
I can see the similarity, yes.
She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol.
Funny.
The lieutenant says softly.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too? They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me, and Sylvie, the bartender.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer. She's just tired. Don't push her too much.
Do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
How did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Well, thank you for telling us all this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
Oh, do we have something else before we go? A little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
That's low. Slight confusion about the bullet. Well, there's a couple of other categories we can try. What's this wildflower?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail.
Pretty. Looks like a dried Maybelle. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
What's Sambo?
A martial art, sir. Is that it?
Yes, why was it there?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Doesn't know much about it. I noticed your room is close to mine. I have a personal question.
Yes, you're just one room away. Very personal.
Were you in Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like...
He waits for you to finish the sentence.
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
Kim does no patience for our personal stuff. It is quite low. I wonder if it's possible to get +1s on anything else. But it is a white check, so we would be able to do it again. It's volition. I'm just trying to think if we had anything to help with that.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
You made the right call there. It feels good. Pure.
About what?
I'm talking about your zero-tolerance policy toward the mania of narco. You're in the right there. Powerful stance. Would you like to take it up a notch? Would you like to become an anti-narcomania zealot?
I am pure and steadfast, totally uncorrupted by narco.
Yes, you're pure. Unravaged by narco. Of course, it's pretty obvious you've done a lot of drugs in the past, and will probably do more in the future. But that doesn't matter.
And my proclivity for smoking doesn't hurt?
No. By supporting the traditional tobacco industry, you keep the narco mills in check. If anything, you should smoke more. Tobacco smoke also wards off narco spirits.
I'm ready to start saving lives.
That's good to hear.
Lieutenant acknowledges your strange mumbling. He does not have any narcotics visibly on him as he says it. Good. I didn't realize we were mumbling these internal conversations, that people could hear them. Let's have... Oh, Kim wants to say something? All right, hold on.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Is she candid, or is something off here? Maybe something is off.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Let's take a look at this thought. Opioid receptor antagonist. -2 electrochemistry while it's being researched. 55 minutes in time. You can see it so clearly. In a dark alley behind a bois de nuit, a young couple is having sex on a shopping cart. Their eyes are bloodshot and their brains fried. They are in the throes of narco mania. On the top floor of an office building, a young exec takes a drag from a short spliff, and his eyes roll to the back of his skull. He, too, is a narco-maniac. Someone needs to take a stand. This world needs a narc. The world needs you. Don't worry, you can still drink and smoke. Those aren't real drugs. I'm glad they specified that alcohol and tobacco are not real drugs. Everyone knows that. Those are the good drugs that adults can take, not the bad ones. So we do have a point. We can unlock a thing. Then we unlocked it. We can only lock one, right? Yeah, we only have the... No? Do we have two? I guess we have two. So, let's internalize some thoughts. There's apricot chewing gum scented one. And opioid receptor antagonist. Boom. Double internalization. Electrochemistry will not be pleased. But... I mean, we have to see what this does. Let's see. When Kim's not around, ask Klassje what she heard from our room, right? Can't talk about him now. You need specifics. Ask later when she collected herself. Confront Hardy Boys. Visit apartment number... oh, this is a smoke around the balcony. Let's take a look at clothes. So let's see. Was anything affecting... It was volition, I think. We needed... I don't think anything here... I don't think we have anything that affected that. Doesn't seem so. Well, I guess we could always try that again. It was quite low, though.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
We only got a +1, and it only increased it to 28. Well, this is a Psyche Check. And... let's see. What? We could do the Perolidon to increase Psyche +1. That is an option.
Whoa. In your hand, Perolidon, the double rainbow of synthetic hallucinogens, rare and gritty, a product of the age of atomic power.
Look at the little puck of liquid.
What a funny little cat. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's an inadequate antidote to radiation poisoning, but a potent antidote to boredom.
But radiation poisoning sounds scary.
It's not gonna give you radiation poisoning, stupid. Perolidon is a perfect match for a badass junkie cop who's looking for a little heat. You need to lower the radiation levels, your stomach thinks. Slurp it.
You know, I'm just thinking that people are complex. You know, we're not two-dimensional. We have many dimensions. We can be the ultimate narc, but also a badass junkie cop. I think we can internalize both things.
The container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You screw the lid open and look. A little slit on the side lets you just slurp it up. Like an oyster. Come on, slurp it.
Wait, won't Kim see me slurp it?
What is he? Your mother? Is Kim your au pair? Slurp it. Slurp the morsel of danger joy.
Well, if we're gonna do something, let's go all in.
You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical-smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your tongue. When you swallow, it's already almost all gone.
Tastes like fire.
It tastes like many things, all melting into one conflagration in the back of your throat. As you look around, the world slowly exists as it did before. Only now, gentle flames lick at its edges, as though it were a photo burning.
Oh God, on fire?
Not really. It's just a metaphor. The effect of that otherworldly drop of liquid is slower, more subtle than that of real flames, yet just as warm. This warmth, It makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
I'm sure Kim will appreciate the gesture. Kim, I just did a drop of that anti-radiation drug. It's great!
I'm happy for you.
He answers.
His glasses turn golden as the fire reflects off the lenses. Once again, you are filled with the certainty. This man is your brother. Just don't mix it with anything, he thinks, looking you over. Thankfully, his sense of balance seems okay. Whatever, I'm not getting involved. Wow, Kim's badass. Or he's had a druggy partner. Whoa, that's probably it. He's seen it before. Look at all these guys go off like fireworks as information pours into you about the lieutenant's simple remark. I'm happy for you. This stuff is great.
Yeah, why don't we do drugs all the time? Will I be able to stand straight and walk?
Why not? This government-developed substance seems very non-intrusive. You could even operate heavy machinery. Fire machinery.
We gotta get to the docks and find some heavy machinery.
Please don't actually operate any fire machines.
This is gonna be so useful in my line of work.
Already you can tell you're going to be sloping a lot more Perolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering light hidden in all human beings. If you can keep the vomit in, because it sort of also makes you want to throw up.
Well, don't worry, endurance is powerful. I'm sure we can handle it.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Perolidon button. It gives +1 to Psyche skills. Empathy, Suggestion, Authority, Inland Empire, Esprit de Corps, and Volition. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your health.
We have a lot of health, though. Let's see. Just want to check. We don't actually have a skill point because I used them on the slots there. Let's see. Well.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
That did increase it, but maybe we can get a chat spirit bomb again to try to boost that volition a little bit more. Maybe we could just get it a little bit more, and of course this is a psyche stat. I mean, if we fail it, we can always try it again, but this is a pretty hard check for us. That's why we're taking the drugs. And we're suspecting that maybe something doesn't quite add up. Well, 58% seems like that's the best we're going to get right now. Let's go for it.
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit.
What is happening?
Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting.
Am I being beguiled?
She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head.
Avert our eyes.
The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
We'll look you in the eyes later. Whatever it is we were looking for, we didn't find it. But at least we didn't take any damage. Well, we took damage for taking the Perolidon, but I mean morale damage. At least we didn't take that. Also, we have a good deal of hit points, so it's okay. You feel someone watching you behind a glass door, a woman. Well, yeah, it's the woman we just spoke to. This room has sad all over it. Reminds you of your own. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of psyche observations now. Well, let's see what the Hearties have to say about what we have to say now.
It's you again. What is it?
Klassje says she wasn't raped.
Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
Wow, you just gave up that charade just immediately, Titus. Did you fail some sort of suggestion check or something?
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't really think that was an official statement, Elizabeth.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
Well, I do know he was taking many drugs and many alcohols.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
Is that an official statement? Let's see. Hardy Boys, position. A victim is... Apparent sexual assault victim is a crazy bitch. Okay, just writing it down in my notes. Crazy? What are you talking about? She was very lucid.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Titus Hardy.
Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape.
Oh, well, that's news to us.
Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Where'd you get the tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
You bug them? How?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Well, which one of you is doing this advanced radio work, then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
I wonder where this coop is. The chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
So what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the Dorgun a mega mix. You'll know why once you listen to it.
And where can I listen to it?
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Lieutenant whispers.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Well, I mean, you insult my intelligence. The tape won't play if I shove it up there. Who's the dummy now?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
His voice echoes like thunder in the small room.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
He repeats calmly in a hushed voice.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Why should I care about this tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
P.14. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
Well, that's enough for now, I guess.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Fine, I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Well, we do know where a tape is. A magnetic tape acquired from Titus Hardy. It supposedly holds a recording of the Mercenary Task Force radio communications recorded via a de-encryption station. Not a good omen. Requires a boombox to play. Specifically, a boombox. You know, since now this is actually needed for the investigation, could we just expense this to the RCM? I'm guessing no. Oh, hold on. I did take like a point of damage when I used those drugs.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front. There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. It sounds like it's mostly empty. Your toe hurts now.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box.
You think so? You think it was cool?
I don't. Let's go.
Oh.
He must see the box as the weaker of the two, and you as a bully. Something he doesn't stand for.
Well, I guess I understand. But I did heal that point. Oh. Can I try this again?
It is such a
rhetoric. Oh yeah.
Again, officer.
It's a rhetoric check. I don't know if we really have anything that's gonna increase that. That's -1 to rhetoric. I mean, we could use cigarettes to increase the intellect, but the chance of that roll is so low. Like, that's not really going to help at all. Oh, these guys new? Well, I don't remember them there before, but we can't talk to them, it seems. Unless we got like a bunch of things that could buff rhetoric, I don't see us passing that check.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
I'm looking for something that plays a tape for police business.
Yeah, we still have those boom boxes on the shelves. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Sell this postcard, I guess. This crumpled up postcard depicts an open-air market in Boogie Street 5 years ago. A vendor smiles as dead roosters line his stalls. Hung by their feet from canopy, red blood flows onto the muddy street. Blurry shadows of people pass.
Another time, perhaps.
Let's see, the boombox.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
Can I play a tape on one of the boomboxes real quick?
Sorry, man. I can't be giving out freebies. Never have, won't now.
Can I get a discount on the boombox? A police discount?
A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
A man like that in a neighborhood like this, in a rickety house falling into the sea, there's fear in him. Use it to your advantage.
Aren't you afraid of mass gunmen, the roof falling in, killer waves, aircraft accidents, botched surgeries? I'll buy it for 4 real.
No, not really. I expect momentous change at any moment, but it seems that you are.
He sounds concerned and seems to weigh your offer.
Fine. 4 real it is.
Wow.
Success. Sort of. Whatever gets the job done, right?
Apparently. Wow, Half-Light coming through for us. Thanks for the discount, man. Here's the money for the boombox.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
It's an interesting description of audio. Well, okay, we can play the tape, but also, when we find that sad, sad song, I'm sure we can use this boombox to rock everyone's worlds at the hotel. We still have to find that song, though. Let's see, not that. We want to go here. Tape player, Harmon Waushi W02. You have to equip it to play tapes. This is the reel-to-reel boombox of everyone's youth. Little banged up, little chipped, and honestly, not that loud either. Looks cool, though. Excels at being carried on the shoulder, allowing you to play audio tape items and blast music into the face of unsuspecting strangers. And here's the tape.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is rooted behind the magnetic reader.
Let's play this tape. You push commencer, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Another loud screech. Some kind of machinery.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice one. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
A click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
What was that at the very end? Silence?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
He did say he was gonna do it. Like, you just can't edit words into someone's mouth, can you?
Indeed, but
Lieutenant looks at the tape. You're familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion.
There's more going on here than we know.
Who's this Cordy?
Cordy could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. The third one must be relaying the signal.
What's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
Okay then. What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for Klassje, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. The contrast feels chilly, inappropriate even.
Alright. Alright, well, I guess we're just going to carry this boombox on our shoulder. Let's head back to the whirling and play this tape for Klassje. See what she has to say about it. I mean, you know, one point is that we don't actually even know what the mercenary sounded like. Is this even his voice? Is that music coming from me? I guess it is. I'm sure everyone will appreciate the music that we bring into their lives. Maybe it'll increase our volition when we try to stare her in the eyes.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
It sure is. Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Coping mechanism?
Running joke.
I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. It was like the Seminese conflict, the Khohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezu all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
He never took the armor off? Sounds like good. It sounds like it would get a little grody. Weren't you afraid a little bit?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Khohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full schmin in her.
Half-Light is skeptical.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? In Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her, that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go talk to Titus again. I hope he appreciates the music. Oh, and it looked like there was something else here?
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets.
Where does this lead to?
I don't know.
Makes a note in his notebook.
It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door.
You think it's important?
I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers.
Tap on the roof with our foot.
A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
So maybe the door below is a mega investigation.
No, still a mini investigation.
He pretends to make a note in his notebook. We can increase those odds, I think. For one, the shirt can come off. That's how you know we're serious. Let's see. Is there anything reducing physical instrument on us? Doesn't seem so.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Okay, shirt is off. 92%.
Something cracks inside. It is an unbelievably satisfying sound.
Nice.
She's impressed. Well, we didn't need any healing, but that would have given us healing in both.
Filling you with a belief in your own body.
And would have been double morale healing.
Sounds like the property damage wasn't in vain, at least. Would it hurt to look in?
Let's see. Just like the idea that the people in the whirling are hearing this music traveling around them.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here within the last week or two.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
He looks at you.
This is good. He likes it. That's a little smile there, in the dark of the workshop.
The Blue Door was a mega investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, which I would say is quite large.
Hey, we impressed Kim. What does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Well, let's have a closer look then.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging, Kim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
This doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Alright, well, let's get up.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Let's move on. Alright, time to be a narc.
Opioid receptor antagonist. Halt. Put down the pipe, scumbag. The narc is on the scene, and he's gonna tell it to you straight. Drugs are for losers. They fry your brain and rewire your circuits to self-destruct. And they make you masturbate too. Have a drink instead. Have 2. Have 3 bottles of wine. It's impossible to masturbate after 3 bottles of wine. And remember, friends don't let friends get high or be sober. Peace out, little brother.
So, no positive effects from drugs, no negative effects from alcohol. So, does that mean... So, of course, we would not be able to use drugs, but does that mean we can use alcohol without any penalty? So, like, we have Commodore Red. There. So that means if we use this, we get +1 physique, and there are no negative effects. So how good this is depends. The smokes still work, because smokes, they're not real drugs, you know. These don't, cigarettes don't count as drugs. So we could still get a boost to intellect, but it would mean that, yeah, the Perolidon, it would have no... We would not get any positive effects. We would not be able to boost our psyche if we were to use that. We would only have the negative effect. So, I guess whether or not this is good really depends on if we need to boost our physique. Which, it's not really the stat we need to boost, is it? Usually. We usually do pretty good on our own, just by taking our shirt off. The pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted. Schematics for a pinball machine. Futurism themed. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. Oh, a coat. Pinball maker's coat. Let's see. +1 empathy. +1 hand-eye coordination. Wow, no downsides. This dusty old coat used to belong to someone named M. Niflox. The name is stitched into the silk lining. It smells of moths and ancient engine grease, but fits you perfectly. A strange, lonely emotion fills you when you tighten the belt around your waist. So the current coat is +1 esprit de corps and +1 shivers. This one's +1 empathy and +1 hand-eye coordination. And I don't know which one would be the better one. Really depends on the situation. Okay, we're on the other side of that door. Okay, the boombox is working. The pinball is white Diora. The backlash shows a female figure in mourning. A note. NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. Ooh, Real. Can we open the door from this side?
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
This door is connected to the one upstairs, but how do we get through?
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important. We can get in and out using the roof door.
Yeah, well, they did mention the key.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside.
Look in.
Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in.
Nougat and sweat. That's an odd combination. Look at the elevator controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
This elevator must have been needed to transport the pinball machines up and down.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. Well, call for emergency assistance is broken, so surely there's nothing that could go wrong if we just use the elevator. Close the doors and go up. Yeah, see, the elevator works fine. No problems.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up, a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball workshop.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
He taps his foot.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hearties bang away at it.
Whirling in Rags was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade. This is all that's left over from that.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
Kim, pinball has everything to do with this case.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Of course, this means the Whirling in Rags really is part of the doomed commercial area.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
Absolutely. All right, we got to talk to Gart, and then we'll talk to the Hearties about what Klassje had to say. I hope Gart likes our boombox.
This window is pristine.
Oh, did not mean to click on that one. Let me just save the game real quick for a bit.
Can I help you?
Can we not talk to him about it? Oh no, I saw another thing at the Whirling.
Another thing? Great. I love those.
Well, I don't know if we want to talk to him about Klassje. I don't see a reason to mention that part. Gart, what if I told you I got into the back room, behind the blue steel door?
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Aren't you gonna ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
And pinball machines. It's a pinball workshop.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why? Do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
You're thinking about selling those pinball machines. I want a fat cut. C-suite shit. I'm a disruptor.
Those machines are Whirling property. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm not planning to sell them. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area.
No, he's not. But we need it. He needs to know. Tough love.
He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
I have to warn you. I may have discovered that the Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
Wait, so you know of the curse?
Everyone knows of it.
Well, the Whirling is listed on the intercom outside as one of the businesses in Building B. You should get your wiring fixed. I tried to call and couldn't reach you.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling.
The Whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade, before it failed. It's only a matter of time before the Whirling fails, too.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework? These high ceilings? The nice rooms? Well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, some doom ghost.
He steadies his voice.
He's done a fine job, too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the Whirling, huh?
Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
Aha! So you finally admit it.
Yes, your police skills have delivered. I'm sure you'll get a commendation, maybe even a promotion.
And who owns this place?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
No. Who named it the Whirling in Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
A song?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
We're looking for a sad song ourselves. What about those other cafeterias you manage? The many, many other cafeterias.
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
Well, too bad it's all doomed then.
Whatever. was there anything else? Because I need to think about how I'm going to get those pinballs in here.
We'll just keep Klassje's secret.
Yes.
Wow, you work hard.
Savoir-faire, you never talk. I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas.
Are you referring to currency?
It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
You could say I took some money from that manana guy, too.
You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider.
And then there's pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style.
I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
Well, no.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Well, it could be because Gart's riding our ass. It could be because the system is broken. It could be because there's a market for corrupt cops out there, but the immigrant cops have price dumped it. Fucking taxes, man. I don't know. Why am I so poor? Well, I mean, obviously the system's broken. Obviously, otherwise, I would be sitting pretty. We won't get specific into how the system is broken. Just, you know, it's broken.
Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor?
Well, I mean, if we want to get literal about where most of my money has been going, it's because of this Gart guy riding my ass.
The Gart man has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your head.
Fucking taxes, says the communist.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here. Total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
I mean, some people would pay 98% of their salary for that. Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that? Opt in. But only a little.
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
I'm pretty sure I haven't actually paid taxes on anything since I woke up. But I guess taxes are to blame for why I have no money. Alright. Indirect mode of taxation. Research. -2 empathy, because we're cold-blooded. 1 hour, 45 minutes. First, if you don't have a side bitch ideology cooking somewhere, don't sweat it. Fighting indirect taxation for the Gossamer state is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now. Unless you don't want to be an anarchist, whatever. Stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket and let's see if we can steal some love back from the robber barons at the Customs Agency and the banditos at the Insulinian Financial Oversight and Competition Committee. Alright, we are going to be a libertarian communist. Let's go for it. I am multitudes. And let's quickly save. And let's talk to Titus. Let's see if he's impressed with our boombox.
It's you again. What is it?
So I talked to Klassje about the tape.
And
nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
You smell weakness. He's getting tired of the game he's been playing.
She pretty much laughed it off, Titus.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
Well, it didn't come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Her voice is a bit softer than earlier.
Okie dokie. This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Titus rubs his chin with his palm as if trying to grind it smooth.
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump.
I'm not going to fist bump Titus' physical instrument. Well, I don't really want the first one. Maybe she isn't who you thought she was. Possibly. Maybe she's still in denial. I don't think that's the case. Be straight with me, Titus, what really happened to wrap this up. Let's go with, well, maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah. I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
Well, she's not some helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!"
throws his beer can down.
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
There's a silence in the room. Elaine starts saying something, then thinks best not to.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
It's a rhetoric check. We have so many +1s, but it's still only 17%. Strange reaction to bullet. Angus can't take pressure. Warned about the tribunal. Discussed 8th Hardy. Confronted about drug trade. It's only 17%. But it is a white check. It's intelligence. So maybe we can do something there. Convince Hardy Boys to tell us the whole story. Well, it's rhetoric, and I'm pretty sure we have looked at this before, and there were no yeah, the only thing that affects rhetoric is the orange bum hat. Nothing is affecting rhetoric right now. We don't have anything that gives +1s to rhetoric, but we do have some smokes. And we can take the health bump. Let's see. I think that did he just automatically use it when I put it in his hand? I'm trying to remember now how we smoked. Oh no, there it is. It's in the button right there. Intellect is raised. Health is damaged.
It's you again. What is it?
Gone up to 28%. Well, let's see if the chat can increase this a bit. This is intelligence. And we'll see if that can be boosted at all. It's still going to be a low percentage. But let's see if it's actually possible to do it. 42%. For our low int, that's going to be the best we're going to get. Let's try. Wow.
He's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Fat Angus, the powerful guy. Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Klassje. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside, in the midday sun, ruins. The pavements are cracked and the benches peeling. Newspapers blow in the wind.
Well, let's see. When would we get the opportunity to get Angus in the pressure cooker? Well, that's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh?
Lieutenant raises his brow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you. Because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because you're a foreigner.
Goddamn right. Don't come around if you're not from around.
Fuck you. I'm not from around. That's not why we...
There we go. Don't come to the wild north if you are not white enough.
I'll just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm. Theo is not a talkative one.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Maybe we should get Kim's advice.
The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod.
Alright, he's ready if it comes to it.
What? What does that mean?
Well, we know what it means, rhetoric. Come on. So, we could turn to Angus, or we could turn to Theo. Well, let's try keep putting the pressure on Angus. Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
He takes a breath, wheezing.
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet. So quiet, you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Yeah, the lawyer walked off. So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Klassje came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to you.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs?
My brother. He's in the window replacement business.
If Klassje didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klassje. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past, too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
What do you mean?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker. The missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy boys, and that's it.
Sure, but can you tell me anything about this affiliate? Name? Current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klassje you want to talk to.
I'm sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her. For the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
Klassje, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer it if we didn't take her away.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. I kind of wish my boombox had been playing during that whole conversation. Let's see. All right. Man, this back and forth interrogation with Klassje and the Hearties have been going on for a while, but we need to confront Klassje one more time about what the Hearties just said. So we have learned some details about the murder that we did not know about. I mean, we did figure that the guy had already been killed by a gunshot before the Hearties hung him. But now we're getting a much clearer picture of the events of that night. And also that the Hearties themselves don't actually know who shot the guy. So that is a surprise. We figured maybe they were covering for someone. But they don't even know who the murderer was.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
You don't look surprised. You were expecting this?
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hearties. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy boys are the law?
I'm satisfied with the explanation, Authority. It's fine.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
What does the RCM's involvement with the moral intern have to do with this?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Orania.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved, and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook.
The job was Elysium County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Luscop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Luscop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead.
before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
Man, this would be kind of awkward if we had succeeded at stealing those boots and we're wearing them right now. That's a motherfucker.
Yeah, it was a real motherfucker. Ow.
She looks down. Her cigarette has singed her fingers.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
This doesn't fit with the testimony of Titus Hardy. He said she was higher than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
I don't even think we need to get into his mindset. His mindset was that he was shot in the head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hearties were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
And before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
Oh, visual calculus.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby. Where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy boys.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Did you kill Lely?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
Rage? Who knows the dark currents where lovers go? All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a... I don't know if there's a whole lot to go on there. Drugs were an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought Ravachol would be more enlightened about this. Especially since you've taken them yourself.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Me and my drugs are none of your business.
I'm sorry. I withdraw what I said. I didn't mean to judge anyone.
Who among us, having been in love, can say that they haven't thought about it?
What? Fucking themselves over for no reason? This is not what happened, officer.
Desires drive people loco.
She simply shakes her head. She has the training for it. You've known it since she first greeted you here on this roof.
You do have the training for it. I can see it in your posture, your shoulders.
The work I did, they don't just send you in with no training. Corporate security is a thing, but I'm not a trained sambal fighter. I've never needed it outside the gym.
Samurai boxing, or sambo. Graceful martial arts stuff, stealth, cleverness, and cool.
Wow, Encyclopedia. You never chime in. Well, let's answer some other questions.
Like what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did.
I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, is that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast. I don't think so. Why did you do it?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
So technically, Kuno's the reason that the cops were called. When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
I think we're done here, for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk.
Yeah, drama is not going to get anything done here. Let's return to this later. Well, let's take a look at the window that we're talking about here. Because if the shot went through the window, then I guess that's really limiting on how many directions the shot could have come from. Really could have only come from one direction.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Yeah, that's real low. Is there anything we can do with that? Visual calculus is not being buffed at the moment. Or negatively buffed. Nerfed. The shades offer +1 on that. And this one, yeah, that one didn't.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk
Whoops, not that.
reflects off the glass.
Did I not put them on? I guess not. There we go.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
%. Well, once again, let's see if we can increase the chances a little bit more. And let's see if the chat can help us visualize what might have happened. Visual calculus is, of course, an int check. So if we could get a little bit more int, maybe we could figure out what exactly happened with this bullet. I mean, it seems like it could really only come from one direction, from what we've heard. 58%. Let's go for it.
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in, Electrochemistry?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired.
I'm surprised Electrochemistry didn't have something to say about that.
The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm, what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with a weapon that fires jacketed ammunition, likely a rifle. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot.
I was about to say, it sounds like the shooter was some incredible sniper shooting from another building, but no, we're saying the shooter actually just set up on this roof outside the window. So how did they get there?
The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room? A closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin, further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinaise?
Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinaise.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Let's look at the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Yeah, these points are much further away than I would have expected. Let's look at Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Let's look at the islet.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinaise, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come in from further than the roof in Martinaise?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime the boardwalk, B double prime Land's End, B triple prime the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Alright, well, I mean, I guess we're going to have to go to the west side to actually go to any of these spaces.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
I mean, it does seem like the most likely thing. And there were footprints in the pinball room, so that does seem like it would be the most likely thing. Alright, we are really going to have to save now. Oh, by the way, 80% on indirect modes of taxation, 55% apricot chewing gum scented one. Alright, well, turns out we're not done with the Hearties because we now have to make Titus give up Ruby's location. Ruby was the organizer of the hanging. She's also missing, but the Hardy boys will be tight-lipped about her location. You need to get them to open up. Have you fully explored the whirling? Analyzed the site of the murder? Truly and thoroughly interrogated Klassje? All this might make convincing them easier. Yeah, so this went a lot longer than I thought it would, but there's some good stuff that's happening. Getting some, really learning some stuff that we were not knowing before, as we finally were able to interrogate Klassje, and we went back and forth between her and the Hearties, learning bits and bits more as we did this, and yeah, we now have a much clearer picture of what happened on that night. But we really have we still really have no idea why the mercenary would have been murdered. So, like, what we know is that the mercenaries were called in by the company Wild Pines, even though Joyce wasn't thrilled with the idea. They were brought in with the purpose of, I guess, escalating things against the Union to put pressure on them. And we thought that perhaps the Union escalated as well by killing the mercenary, but it's sounding like that's, well, at least as far as the Hearties go, it doesn't sound like that's what they did. The Hearties hung the body that was already dead to cover for Klassje because we can't know that she's there. The police can't know because she's wanted. So they were covering for her. But it doesn't sound like she killed him. Or, I mean, it could possibly be that she's in a conspiracy on killing him, but at the very least, she by herself would not have been able to kill him. An unknown sniper with a military rifle and clearly sniper training shot and killed him. For reasons that we don't know, is that murder part of the Wild Pines versus the Union conflict? And if so, what was the reason for killing him? Was the reason for killing him to deliberately keep trying to escalate things? Considering that we now know that the two other mercenaries probably intend to kill a whole lot of Union people, and that's just going to cause things to escalate even more. And Joyce is worried that a full-on civil war is going to end up happening in Revachol. So could this murder be politically motivated? Possibly. So we know a lot more about what happened, but there's still a lot of question marks as to why it happened. But I guess we're going to try to find this Ruby, the actual leader of the Hardy Boys, and see if anything will make a bit more sense once we do that. And of course, don't forget, we are now becoming a libertarian while also being a communist. That's the most important thing, of course. And I really don't know what this apricot one is gonna be. Like, just reading the description does not really make it clear at all as to what this is going to be. So I'm very interested in seeing what'll happen when we get that. There's still a bunch of things that we have to do, not just the Wednesday stuff. Working class husband, we gotta give Kuno a gift. I also do like that Klassje brought up Kuno. That was the reason she called the cops, because Kuno he just kept throwing rocks at the body. Just for days, just throwing rocks at the body. Why won't he stop throwing rocks at the body? Close the water lock, find the gloves, find the cryptozoologist, find booze and drink it. We can do that, well, we found some booze, we can drink it, and penalty-free. Find the murder weapon. Yeah, there was that, performing an advanced analysis using hand-eye coordination. We never did that because our hand-eye coordination is bad. But that is something. We need to let Everard know that we unlocked the door. The badge, who knows where that is? Buying the pants from Kuno, not exactly on a priority. Who put the clothes in the trash? The victim's tattoos. Apparently we can ask someone else about the tattoo's possible meaning. And of course, the most important thing of all, sing karaoke. We do now have the boombox, so no one can stop us. Except time. This did go real long. But we just had to get to the end of that conversation and just couldn't leave in the middle of it. But next time, we'll ask Titus about Ruby, and we gotta get around to crossing that water lock next time. Like, a lot of the day is past at this point. We gotta do that sometime today, just to see what's on the other side of it. So that's probably going to be next time as we continue on with the investigation in Disco Elysium.